It's been a long time, hasn't it? Hey there guys, Gutslove here and welcome back to another top 10 list. I know it's another Pokemon list, but hey, I love this series and I want to keep talking about it until basically Generation 6. We all know how this goes. I sort of talk about the lore of the story of this generation, whether or not I liked it, blah blah blah. But this time, compared to Generation 4, I really liked Generation 5. Why? Because the story is present. It's not like with the others in which, oh, sometimes we're gonna have the villain appear here and there so they can tell you, hey, we're still in this game. We're gonna make it difficult for you for certain areas, but we're gonna be very easy to beat. Not in this generation. In this generation, Game Freak amped up its game. And that's what I really love about Black and White. When Generation 5 was announced, I originally was not overall hyped, you know? After what happened with Generation 4, especially with Diamond Pearl, I didn't play Platinum, so don't burn me please. I wasn't that really excited for Generation 5, but still kept my eyes on any news for the new generation. And when we got the information that, hey, this is gonna be a sort of reboot, I was both curious and slightly scared because we all know what happens with certain reboots. For this generation, no past generation Pokemon would be appearing in this new world. In the Unova region, it's gonna be all new Pokemon, and that excited me. But I was still curious about how this new region, Unova, which is inspired by New York, was gonna be presented, which was sort of a hit and miss for me. Pokemon was always a balance between nature and technology. I was still kind of preoccupied. But you know what? Let's stop talking about this and let's go straight to the Pokemon that appear in this generation with my top 10 favorite Generation 5 Pokemon. And let me tell you, these are good. This generation that they pumped in a buttload of numbers for various types, and one of them being the bug types. We barely had a few good ones in the past generations that this one made up for it, and it would be a very big disappointment for me if I did not add this one on the list. Leavanny is just stunning. This Pokemon is so simple yet so elegant looking, and with a very interesting typing of both grass and bug. Leavanny is the nanny-looking Pokemon that doubles as a seamstress. But look at them scythe-looking hands! They can cut a bitch. Bug Bite, Leaf Storm, Razor Leaf, X-Scissor, Jesus! I had a Leavanny in my team in my black version back in the day, but I couldn't use her that much because I already had a grass type on my team, which was my Serperior, which was badass, by the way, that she only had a few fights before I had to box her. I'm so sorry. You're still pretty though. At least you bit off the faces of my enemies. Nom 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 nom. So I really like the Black Swan movie. You know which Pokemon is up next. Swanna is another flying water type Pokemon. Incredibly weak to electric types, but it's still gorgeous. They dance at dusk, obviously referencing Swan Lake. Their elegant forms don't limit them from pecking someone to death and flap a fierce wind. So with the head bop things and the boot plates, you know it's a direct reference to the ballerinas. Just don't make them stand on their tippy toes. What I find odd is that if there's a flock, they will fight each other for supremacy in terms of beauty and speed. But then again, real life animals do the same. It would have been awesome if its shiny form would have been black with a red beak. Strictly referencing Swan Lake. Tie the knot, damn it. La 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 la. Meloetta is one of those odd choices for a Pokemon that somehow works. Using the popular Vocaloid singers of Japan, and combining them with dancing is quite the accomplishment. Due to Meloetta being a perfect representation of switching from one form to the other and becoming different types. Yes, we've seen form changing before, but with this one, it's quite peculiar because you need a specific move in order to achieve that form. With Meloetta, you need a specific attack so she can transform from the singer form to her fighting form. We wouldn't see this kind of transformation until way later with Rayquaza. Using her voice to enchant, entertain, and bring joy to people as she danced, it makes me think of a flamenco dancer mixed with Hatsune Miku. Legend says that Meloetta used to sing and dance so lightly, it made people happy with her performance. But when sorrow ruled the world, she forgot the melody, and so she turned from a red Meloetta to green. Just go to Castelia City and go to one of those alleyways where there's a hidden bar. The guitarist there will teach Meloetta its signature move so she can transform. Zoroark got the same treatment as Lucario. It was one of the first Pokemon to be teased for Generation 5. And we all thought it was going to be a legendary, just like with Lucario before Zorua was revealed. Its design just screams Dark type. It will f you up with its speed and attack you, be it in-game or in Smash Brothers. Zoroark is the illusion Pokemon. It can disguise itself as a fellow human or as another Pokemon, and it can also make a certain area look like something else, shielding itself from intruders or humans that mean harm. Hello? One of you attacks you from a freaking van! That's a pretty interesting attack move. I personally thought Zoroark were loner creatures that just took care of their young and then leaving them once they were old enough. But I was mistaken. They live in groups, at least I sort of nailed it with the whole taking care of their young thing, hiding them in their manes. This Pokemon also learns one of my favorite moves, Night Daze, and it can trap whoever tries to catch it in an illusion, which explains the in-game event. Freaking creepy. And yes, I have not seen the movie, so I can't tell you if Zoroark will be up or down the list. Deerling is that cute little deer that many girls will fawn over and try to capture whenever they can, especially the spring one. I'm particularly fond of the fall and winter ones myself. They look awesome when they evolve. Deerling was one of those Pokemon that, once seeing it, I couldn't but help say, aww. I didn't know it was going to be half normal, which sort of sucks since I don't particularly like normal types. The other cool thing about Deerling was that it changed its coat with the seasons, just like with a few real-life animals. You can catch them in the summer, fall, winter, spring, whenever, and it will be the same type just with a different color and design scheme. It's pretty cool unless you want to keep it in its cutesy form. Just don't kill any mommy Zuzbook. Remember when I said that this generation popped up the bug types? Joltik is that adorable little bugger that I would not mind having as a pet. I want 10 of these. Before Flabebe, Joltik was the smallest Pokemon ever, being only 4 inches big, or even smaller, I don't know. You can keep it in your pocket and use it as a mini taser or an iPod charger. Wait a sec, aren't these guys supposed to drain electricity? Yeah, I'm keeping it away from my Game Boy. I'm being serious when I say I want 10 of these. They just seem like awesome cuddlers, being balls of fluff that can electrocute me. Wait a minute, I didn't think that right. They also evolve into the best tarantula ever, Galvantula, being 8 times bigger than its fluff ball version. Even with it being a freaking spider, I'd still love it as a beloved pet. Keeping with the theme of fluff balls, Zubat is another Pokemon that I had high hopes for once it was revealed. I always loved bats, and just having the Zubat family as its representative in the Pokemon universe was kind of a downer because, hello, they're only freaking poison types. The other one is sort of bat-like, but it's more of a scorpion, so it's kind of like a hit and miss. Zubat is a puffball that has a cute little heart-shaped nose that it can use to make ultrasonic waves. Due to its psychic type, its tail can shake to make sounds that can destroy solid concrete. How badass is that? This Pokemon can look so cute and so derpy at the same time without losing sight of what it is. A bat. I would kill to have one as a freaking pillow. Look at it, it's so freaking fluffy. Let the puffball steam engine roll! The Grand White Dragon of Legend. The one that helps those who wish to create a world of truth. It can scorch the world in flames. It can change the weather with its turbine-inspired tail. This dragon is also inspired of the Chinese yin and yang, the positive side, the side of light, with a feminine design and mammal-like features, compared to Zekrom with its more reptilian and masculine traits. This is the sole reason as to why I chose black version instead of white. Look at it! It's freaking gorgeous! And you have no idea how happy I was when I caught it with my first heal ball. I didn't know the capture rate was modified so we could get it easily. I didn't care. I got this wonderful creature on my team and burned everything. And don't tell me you didn't feel epic using this beast against N's own dragon. What really upsets me is that you can't have an awesome animation when you see yourself flying on Reshiram's back, either in this gen or in the 6th. That would have been so amazing. I think it's gonna be easy to say that starter Pokemon will always be on my lists. When Generation 5 was announced and the starters were shown, I did not like the fire and water type starters, which was odd. I always choose one or the other. Snivy was my first choice and I was so glad. My second favorite animal are the snakes. They are just amazing, and having one that wasn't a poison type, like with bats, was a freaking miracle. It can stop opponents with just the glare of its noble eyes and will only fight to the fullest when it faces a worthy opponent. My Serperior tore down the walls of my opponents, slamming its tail and slicing them apart with Leaf Blade or with Leaf Tornado. This is just an elegant snake Pokemon, so regal. I personally think it would fit perfectly in Kalos, but it appears in the urban setting of New York. Kinda sucks, really. It waves its flames to hypnotize its victims in a trance. It absorbs spirits which it burns. Being consumed by this Pokemon's flame will burn the spirit and leave the body behind like an empty shell. Chandelure is inspired by the Japanese Hitodama and the Western Will-O-Wisp. A spirit possesses a chandelier, alluring its unsuspecting prey like the rest of its lamp and candle evolutionary chain. When I first caught Litwick, I really didn't know what kind of Pokemon it would evolve into. You know, from a candle to a lantern? It was quite a surprise. Litwick was one of those Pokemon that I just couldn't help myself in capturing, and when it evolved into Lampent, I thought it was adorable. But I was a bit concerned when it didn't evolve again. I had to cheat and look up if it had a third stage, which it did, and I was spoiled to its beautiful monstrosity. I searched for the nearest Duskstone and evolved my Lampent into that beautiful Chandelure Pokemon. Chandelure will always keep a very special place in my heart, not just because of its design and its backstory, but also because it helped me out so much during my playthrough of Pokemon Black. It defeated most of my enemies and it saved my ass so many times that I sadly had to replace my Chandelure, which I called Zero, with Reshiram after I caught it. Zero, you will always keep a very special place with me, and thank you so much. And I know it's so ridiculous for me saying thanks to a fictional character, but hey, what fictional character didn't help you out? Be it from a movie, from a book, or from a video game. So don't judge. And there you have it. This has been my top 10 favorite Generation 5 Pokemon. I thank you all so much for watching, and I know this list has been a bit tardy since, a few months ago? But it's because I had different problems with life, and that's the long and the short. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Gutslove, and I'll see you all next time. Take care of yourselves.